It's reasonable to say that 2020 was a one-of-a-kind year and that 2021 will most likely be no different. So as marketers consider establishing brands this year and beyond, what lessons should we learn from the pandemic? What can we do to assist businesses in growing more quickly? And in the age of COVID-19, how is marketing being redefined? Let's try to answer these questions as we go over the current marketing trends for September. Hey, welcome to LiveHive, where you can stay up to date with the latest updates about marketing, sales, and business. You can also get more details from our website at www.livehive.com. Let us start by discussing the very promising game monetization, the promise of earn while you play, and balancing incentives, September 15th. Play and Earn is a promising new monetization approach that can align developer, player, and investor interests. Axie Infinity has been making news for several reasons, including its token's price movement, and it creates work for individuals all over the world, and its extraordinary profit increase, which has surpassed earnings from both Ethereum and Bitcoin combined. $84,900,000 in treasury funds. In a play-to-earn or play-to-earn game, the challenge for game designers is to influence the player's impression of the game's utility to them. Playing and earning money can become a challenge in and of itself, requiring new techniques. However, allowing players to monetize their worth can provide the game a new depth and complexity and a new level of drive. Unity, C# and shader data structure programming are the focus of a new GDC Masterclass, September 15th. Dr. Russell Campbell, a computer science professor, explains the new GDC Masterclass. Data structure in Unity, C# and shader programming is a course that teaches programmers how to solve a common problem in video game production. Data structures are commonly used in programming to solve problems that would otherwise be impossible to solve without them. However, many data structures are created in an object-oriented manner, making it difficult to transfer them to shader code. The course combines the benefits of both data structures and the tremendous processing capabilities of GPUs, teaching students how to use this method and building data structures that can be fed to shader code to produce the best results. On September 29th and 30th, 2021, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Unity, C# and shader data structure programming will be held. Please note that it will take place virtually on both days, rather than in person. Is the market for virtual reality finally improving? Let's find out as we discuss VR gaming, Reddit, trailers, and more, September 15th. The VR-exclusive puzzle title, I Expect You to Die Too, which followed up the 2016 original, made over $1 million in revenue less than a week after its premiere in August 24th, according to Scheurle Games. Indeed, this is a significant development for virtual reality games, which have been low in sales for years. Looking around, it appears that the game has 220 Steam reviews 6 days after its release, implying 10,000 sales at a regionally weighed average of $20. After that, there's Oculus Rift, PlayStation VR, and finally Oculus Quest. So when Scheurle Games announced I Expect You to Die Too, the Oculus Quest page for the game had around 750 reviews. Even with slightly lower figures, a precise ratio leads to a guesstimate that Oculus Quest via the Oculus Store has accounted for at least 70% of the game's income. Elodie nets $32,500,000 to create cross-platform games, September 15th. Elodie Games has acquired $32,500,000 in Series A funding to help spread the production of its cross-platform games. Galaxy Interactive and Andreessen Horowitz led the round, with Patron and Electric Ant providing additional support. Elodie was founded by Riot veterans Christina Norman and David Banks in 2019, and has spent the last 2 years creating games for people, not platforms. Elodie creates games that are developed from the ground up to be cross-playable, empowering gamers everywhere to play with their friends across any platform without ever sacrificing the player experience, says the company, which also pledges to remove any and all barriers that restrict gamers from playing together. To do this, the California-based company plans to continue to expedite development while maintaining a healthy and inclusive work atmosphere, as well as grow its crew. The Securities and Exchange Commission has fined App Annie $10 million for securities fraud, September 15th. App Annie, a mobile analytics company, has been fined $10 million by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for fraudulent practices regarding how its data was produced. Bertrand Schmidt, the company's co-founder and former CEO, will face extra penalties in addition to the fine. In addition, Schmidt has been fined another $300,000 and is barred from functioning as an officer or director of a public firm for the next 3 years. After the SEC accused the company of misleading app developers and customers about how app data was gathered, collected, and used, Schmidt and App Annie agreed to pay the fines. App Annie claims for years that its data is developed by internal statistical models used to analyze app performance and that it delivers alternative data to consumers. Customers were advised that the information they were looking at came from App Annie's statistical models and analyses. That non-anonymized, non-aggregated data gave it a boost. The SEC claims that once trading firms began using this data to make investment decisions, it turned into a toxic brew of half-truths. All of this appears to violate the Exchange Act's anti-fraud provisions. Section 10b, Rule 10b-5. App Annie and Schmidt did not confirm or deny the SEC's allegations, but they agreed to pay a $10 million fine and comply with the agency's cease and desist order. Azur, a mobile publisher, has purchased a $2,200,000 minority share in app developer Skyrocket, September 16th. A mobile game publisher, Azur Games, has paid $2,200,000 for a 15% interest in app company Skyrocket. Skyrocket's development division, Neosis, produces projects and is most recognized for its productivity apps, including Call Recorder and Maker app. According to the company, the transaction is part of Azur's profile diversification plan, which has produced several casual mobile games such as Stackball and Modern Strike Online. "We're interested in the mobile app business," Azur co-founder Dmitry Yaminsky said. "We want to build new projects with people who already have experience in this field." Azur's video game portfolio has over 2 billion downloads to date, and the company is now looking to grow into the IT industry with Skyrocket support. Jennifer Scheurle, chair of the IGDA Women in Games Group, has resigned following complaints of sexual harassment, September 16th. Jennifer Scheurle, chair of the IGDA Women in Games Special Interest Group, the WIG-SIG, has resigned after being accused of emotional abuse and manipulation. This week, a slew of allegations against Scheurle has been making the rounds on social media, many of which stretch back years. According to emails released online, multiple informal complaints against Scheurle were received by the IGDA in 2018, which were followed up with formal complaints in 2019 and 2020. More than 120 pages of charges and evidence were included in the complaints, including statements from more than 10 people. The IGDA launched a formal investigation in response to the allegations, but concluded that there was no convincing evidence of misconduct. The organization also stated that it had a zero-tolerance policy for all sorts of harassment and violence, but that it must follow an anonymous inquiry procedure and take disciplinary action based on evidence. The schedule revealed her plans to stand down as chair of the Women in Games group shortly after the IGDA ended its investigation. Alexandre Parizeau will be the studio manager for Amazon in Montreal, September 17th. Alexandre Parizeau, co-founder of Ubisoft Toronto, will lead Amazon Montreal, the new game studio that recently opened in the French-Canadian province. In February 2021, Parizeau announced his departure from Ubisoft, explaining that he was stepping down to concentrate on personal priorities. When news surfaced that one of his fellow co-founders, Maxime Belland, had been accused of sexually harassing and physically abusing employees on many occasions, Parizeau was in control of Ubisoft Toronto. Although no such allegations seem to be circling Parizeau, many of the broader allegations concerning the studio's supposedly destructive workplace atmosphere occurred during his time as managing director, which began in 2014. Parizeau will now be directing a team at Amazon Montreal that is working on a brand new AAA multiplayer shooter. According to Omdia analysis, in-app ad revenue is expanding faster than in-app user expenditure, September 17th. Data Point of the Week is a weekly game developer series brought to you by Media, our sister company and global research leader. How much should or could mobile game makers rely on advertising? We can tell you that where the number is right now and how it's likely to evolve in the future. Advertising is increasingly being used as an additional or even primary source of revenue in mobile gaming genres. Although in-app ad revenue will account for a lesser share of mobile game revenue throughout India's prediction, it will increase from 17.6% in 2016 to 42.2% in 2025. In-app ad revenue outpaces user spending, particularly in cards, casinos, puzzles, and sports. WB Games have hired Monolith Production studio leader David Hewitt, September 17th. A veteran Sony Santa Monica executive, David Hewitt, has been hired by Warner Bros. Games to lead Monolith Productions. Hewitt will be in charge of studio strategy for the company that most recently produced the Middle-earth series based on The Lord of the Rings. With the introduction of the Nemesis system, both Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Middle-earth, Shadow of War, enjoyed critical and economic success. In addition, Warner Bros. Appears to have rekindled its interest in its interactive entertainment division, which was briefly on the market for sale to companies such as Microsoft. The division has since been withdrawn from the market. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you can join the LiveHive squad and be a part of our channel. Thank you for watching.